This is the first take on this. We'll see how well this goes. Um, Welcome to another CP short. I've traveled back from Kansas City and had a lot of time to spend some podcasts, and going to go ahead and borrow an idea from our friends at London Real, as I finally got to catch up on some of their podcasts, and they had a "What Are We Reading" bit that I thought was going to fit in really well with some of the stuff that we do at Clinically Pressed and some of the books that all of us do read and stay up to date on. And wanted to really talk about one that I just finished, and it's actually been up as a book of the month recommendation on TAT. We'll probably swing it over and make sure that it's always a recommendation, but it was the Checklist Manifesto, and I had no idea what to go in and expect. I had heard about it from Tim Ferriss' podcast, and it was highly recommended as just being something that was highly useful. Well, it turns out it's written by a medical doctor, and his whole point is that we can really improve outcomes in many things by having a simple checklist, because there's things that we automatically think that we do, but we don't until we go back and check on this. And he had some really interesting cases in it, a lot relating to the medical field, him being a surgeon, just whether people have had the correct dose of antibiotic in the correct time, if they had enough blood on reserve should something go wrong, and different things like that, which I thought was really interesting. And his stats on how often some of those things are forgotten, even though you would think that is just something that's become so commonplace and such an automatic thing that it would never happen. He also talked about airlines and the checklist that the pilots use, and how that really enhances their ability to work in situations that are tough. His best example was the Miracle on the Hudson, and how they made the determination, but they also were able to go through checklists, both through their respective ones, the pilot and the co-pilot, to do everything they could to run through, to save it, and then ultimately came back down to the human condition and their judgment to be able to land that plane in the water and miraculously save everybody. I think that was something that was really unique, and it was such a good book, and it gave us so many ideas, simple checklists that, again, you think that you remember every time you do something. For every episode we put out, I feel like I have it down to a fine science, but I almost undoubtedly forget to do something every time I put something out, whether it's put the audio up somewhere on SoundCloud to get it out, to make sure we change around and get the links correct on the webpage, so we're not touting one episode and linking you to another. So it's something we're going to utilize. I just think it can be applied so much to everybody's life, and they are meant to be simple, meant to just hit the key things, not a 37,000 step to-do list, but hit the basics to make sure you get it done, taken care of, and be able to utilize in everything that you do, whether it's work or in your everyday life. So that's what I've been reading. I think it's worth checking out. Like I said, it is a Checklist Manifesto by Atul Gawande. I may have had that wrong, but if you type it in on Amazon or check out one of our sites, we should have a link to it. But I highly recommend that you check that out.